Welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today I am excited to announce that we are in Greece. This is the start of our new series here in Athens. It's a gritty city, but it's home to some incredible Greek food. So over the next few days, we're going to be eating a ton of traditional Greek street foods, lots of Mediterranean cuisine. So if you're not already, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified, because we have an incredible series ahead of us. Let's go explore Athens. It's a sleepy Sunday morning here in Athens. We got up early to try out some traditional breakfast items. Although Greeks are not really big on breakfast, there are a couple things, so we're gonna try some different breakfast foods first thing today. Our first stop on our Greek food tour of Athens is at an old favorite of ours. This is called Stani, and it's been open since 1931. They specialize in dairy products, and particularly their Greek yogurt. So they use a mixture of goat's milk, sheep's milk, sometimes just goat's milk, sometimes just sheep's milk to make the yogurt, and then he's just got this bucket full of honey that he completely drizzles on top with a little bit of walnuts. We have a couple different things, but mainly it's all about this yogurt here. You can see that huge chunk, ton of honey, and then all those nuts on top, that walnut. And then back here we've got something called Antogola, and it's a top cream. So it's really dense stuff, and then a ton of honey. Once again, it is just liquid gold. And then we've got some espressos with sugar, but definitely I'm not going to need to put extra sugar in my coffee this morning with the amount of honey we've got. Let's dig into this Greek yogurt. Just make sure I get a little bit of everything here. Man. Wow, that is so good. It's got a really sour kick initially, but it's balanced out with the sweetness from the honey. You get a little bit of a difference in texture with this very smooth yogurt, and then those crunchy walnuts. That is so good. I gotta go in for another bite here. Get a little bit more honey this time. It's got such a tartness to it, and it's so thick. That is a perfect way to start your day. Next up, the Antogola. I'm gonna kind of get down deep so I don't get too much of that honey. Look at that, completely coats the exterior, and just look at the consistency of that. It is so dense. Oh man, okay, let me try it before I lose all the honey. Wow. Okay, that is so good. I am so happy to be here in Greece. That is not what you think it is, because it looks like the yogurt, but it doesn't have the same sourness at all. It's very sweet the whole way through. It's kind of flavorless. The honey gives it all of that sugar and all that flavor. And the honey's got a little bit of a fruitiness to it too. I gotta chase that with some espresso. Oh man, this is definitely gonna wake me up this morning.
Oh my god.
So although the Greeks aren't huge on breakfast, I definitely would rate that as one of the best Greek breakfast options available. So good. Check that place out anytime you come to Athens. We're gonna head into the city, look for our next little stop. We have our masks on. It's pretty lazy today, so there's not a whole lot of people out, but once you get in the streets, definitely gotta put the masks up. The graffiti here in Athens is on another level. Just look at it. There's so much. I've never seen so much in a city, and it's all just so intricately done. It definitely gives the city a gritty feel, but it's also charming at the same time. I actually really like it. Okay, thank you.
So for our next street food, we have this. This is the Koulouri, and it's actually like a giant bagel, and it's just covered in sesame seeds. So you'll see these Koulouri all through the streets of Athens. It's a very typical street food breakfast, but today we actually got it from the source. The restaurant that we went to serves all the Koulouri to all these little street food vendors in the city, and they actually deliver them in all these little scooters. And it's really cool. They have their logo on it and everything. So this is our second breakfast item. I'm really still quite hungry after the Greek yogurt, so let's give this a try. It's actually quite light and fluffy. Unlike where you get it from the street food stalls, they've actually had time to dry. This one is actually freshly baked. It's really nice and light and fluffy. And the flavor that dominates it is the sesame. It's very nutty almost. That's really good. You can tell that's quite fresh. What's up?
A bagel. This is a super on-the-go type snack, and for only 50 euro cents, it's a really cheap and filling breakfast. So we've come down to Monastery Square, which is a very central area here in Athens. We've got the Acropolis on top of the hill overlooking the square. We're gonna check that out later on our trip here in Athens, but we're gonna go into the flea market. It's Sunday, and the flea market here really gets going on Sundays. So this is the Monastery flea market. The main strip is just full of touristy junk. So what you gotta do is you gotta go down the little side alleyways if you're looking for something unique, unique souvenirs and antiques. And then eventually you'll find this little square, and on Sundays, all these guys set up with all kinds of different things. You can find everything here. There's old coins, there's tons of furniture, there's old telephones. What are those things called? Phonographs, or the things that played old records. And it's just really picturesque, a really cool place for photography. The flea market is definitely worth a visit on Sunday. I enjoyed that a lot. It's really cool to walk around, and a couple locals told us, just a word of warning, to protect your items, your belongings, because there are pickpockets, and apparently they're really good that hang out in the flea market. So we're heading now to get a coffee while we wait for our lunch restaurant to open up. We just came across this man on the side of the street playing an instrument called louta, and it's like a Greek guitar, and man, it sounded awesome. He was so talented, wasn't he?
So talented, I couldn't believe it, it was amazing.
Yeah, he had some crazy vibrato going on with his voice, but that was just so cool. We were the only ones there filming him. Right now we are at this really cool cafe that is directly on the staircase. So all the tables and some people are sitting on the stairs. It's just sprawled out on this really long staircase, really picturesque. And we've got ourselves a typical Greek cafe staple. This is the frappe. So this was invented back in the 50s by somebody from Nescafe that found just using instant coffee, shaking it with ice, you get this really beautiful foam on top. We got it with milk and a little bit of sugar. Oh yeah, that is actually really, really strong coffee. I didn't want to take a drink just out of the cup because there's such a huge layer that I don't think I'd get anything but foam. And it's definitely a little sweet, but we asked for less sugar. I think you just put a little bit in there. That is nice and cold and refreshing. Not that special, but still pretty cool. There's got to be thousands of cafes here in Athens. This one is particularly cool. It's unique because we're right on the staircase here, and we actually came here a long time ago, and right now it seems like they're only operating 50% capacity because usually every single stair is packed with people, but it's really pleasant right now. And pretty good frappe. The foam is so ridiculously dense. Look at this. You can just put the straw right in the middle. It doesn't go anywhere, and it's not even all the way down. It's just sitting like that. Look at this. And if you drink the foam just by itself, it's super strong. The lunch restaurant has opened. We're heading there now. We're gonna get some lamb chops. So we're in the back kitchen. They're cooking all the lamb chops on charcoal right over here on the grill. And he is chopping the raw lamb chops on this huge like stump. He's got this big kind of machete. And yeah, you can buy per weight, so up to a kg, 30 euros per kg. Really cool, thank you. This is a hidden lamb chop oasis. They specialize in lamb chops, and they've got this little courtyard in back here. So the restaurant's across the street and they'll lead you over to the courtyard. They don't have a whole lot of things on their menu, and you actually order the lamb chops by weight. So we're gonna get 500 grams, get a couple other things. This place is so cool. Our food has arrived. We have a nice spread, but this is what this place is all about. These are the beautiful lamb chops grilled. You can smell that charcoal. It smells so good. We've also got the famous Greek tzatziki, the strained yogurt with cucumbers, and then over here we've got another dip. This is the eggplant dip, and then of course we've got a bread basket, and my mouth is just watering over top of these lamb chops. They smell so good, so let's dig in. I'm just gonna try them as is now. Cut out some of this beautiful lamb chop, and look at that. It just comes right off that bone there, and it just looks really, really juicy. And I'll get this, I'll just bite it like this. Oh man. Oh, yum. Just a little bit of salt, and I think a little bit of oregano too. Definitely not over seasoned, super juicy, super tender, and really smoky. Man, that was probably the juiciest lamb chop I've ever had. I love how they give you an entire half of a lemon or a full lemon, and you just gotta completely soak those. They are a little greasy, so the lemon will help kind of contrast that greasiness with some acidity. Oh man. Those are so tender. So this heavy Greek meat goes perfectly with the tzatziki, kind of balances it out, balance that greasiness with a little bit of yogurt tartness. Fresh cucumber, that works so well. Next up, I'm gonna try this eggplant dip with some of this toasty bread here. That eggplant has a ton of dill in it, so it's definitely the strongest flavor, but it does still have that fresh eggplant flavor, and then the toast, the bread is nice and toasty. That's really refreshing. This is just a meat paradise. I love the restaurant. I love the lamb chops. They're just so smoky and so juicy, and they go so well with the tzatziki too. This stuff just contrasts that greasiness and that smokiness with some sour freshness. Look at that. That is beautiful. So you get some pieces that are a little fattier than others on the lamb chops. You've got both the lean and the fattiness. And we got 500 grams, so I think it was pretty good for 2 people. You can get huge plates. I see people getting 2 kgs and it's just mountains of lamb chops. This place is seriously a hidden gem, packed out with locals. Wow, that was an absolute meat feast. Delicious lamb chops, right?
Yes, very nice and smoky.
Yeah, and really friendly staff. You're not going to be able to find it unless you follow the directions that we'll leave down in the description, because it's really hidden and it's not in the main tourist center. You got to go a little out of the way. We're going to go head over to check out the Agora. So we're here at the Ancient Agora. This was the center of commerce. It was a bustling marketplace, among other things, many, many centuries ago. And huge disclaimer here, Sabrina nor I are historians, let alone ancient Greek historians. It's really complex stuff. So I'm not gonna give you too many details because I'm not exactly sure, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. I know though that it was here that democracy was invented, and of course that's a very important thing. Nowadays you can see all the ruins, you can see some reconstructed buildings, and you get these really cool views of the Acropolis on top of the hill. But we're gonna go check out the famous temple here in the Ancient Agora.
So right beside us is the Temple of Hephaestus. It's one of the highlights here of the Ancient Agora. It's in absolute great condition. You can't go inside, but you can see it from the outside, and it's really beautiful. There's tons of details, and the view of the rest of the Ancient Agora and Acropolis is right in front of the temple. So it's one of the best parts of this whole Agora. It's really amazing.
So the last time we were in Athens, we didn't come to the Ancient Agora, and I'm pretty sure that this is usually packed with people. I know it's one of the major tourist attractions here in Athens and in all of Greece, and it is completely empty. We have the entire place to ourselves. It's about 4 p.m. now. The sun is not as hot, and it's just completely empty.
We're the only ones here.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Super cool.
Something that's really cool that you can find here, which we thought was really hilarious last time, was tortoises. They just kind of roam around this dry, arid landscape. Here's one right now. I won't scare them, but see? Oh, that's so cool.
Greece is so beautiful. We're just checking out this tortoise that's hanging out right here, and I noticed that this tree is full of some kind of berry. I'm not sure it's edible, but I think it is.
Wow.
It looks like a raspberry, but I know it's not a raspberry because they grow on bushes. Let me know down in the comment box if you know what this berry is. Maybe it's a mulberry. Okay, I'm not sure if he can eat the berry, but let's see if he wants it. Is that the berry? Oh, he's eating them off the ground.
Oh, is he?
It's a fresh one for you, dude. Come eat the fresh one. Don't bite my finger.
Yeah, don't get snapped.
Yeah, he's got it. Oh, yeah, he's eating dried ones off the ground.
Oh, cool.
Here.
You gonna have it? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Wildlife.
He loves it. So this building is called the Stoa of Attalus, and it is a reconstructed building. They used a lot of original materials though. Now it houses a museum that has tons of artifacts, and there are a couple of artifacts that are outside, and the thing that just blows my mind is how old some of these things are. Some of them from 420 BC. So there's two reasons why that blows my mind. One is how well preserved they are, and two is how people were able to make them so detailed and intricate so long ago. It just really blows my mind. This is so cool, and the building itself is really incredible. That's gonna be it for today's episode. What do you think the best thing we ate today, Serena, was?
Oh, I think it was those lamb chops. Those were amazing.
I don't know, it's a big toss-up because that Antogola this morning, the top cream with the honey,
Yeah.
so good. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be asking down below about the situation with COVID-19. As you can see, there's barely any tourists here, so you know, it's safe to take your mask off sometimes, but in the streets, we're definitely keeping our mask up.
Yeah.
We are Canadians, and right now, Greece is allowing Canadians to come in.
Yes.
So just, if you're interested in coming, just do your research and make sure you know before you're coming everything you need to know, and just take precautions. So far we feel really safe, and this is the start of our new series. We're super excited. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified, and if you'd like to become a Patreon, hit the link down in the description box. You'll get access to our monthly blooper reels and also our personally curated food maps that we make in cities all around the world, so you can find delicious food on your travels. We'll see you on the next episode of Chopstick Travel soon. Bye bye.
Bye.